All right, guys, I'm going to go through the next section of the presentation, right? So as you remember, yesterday I went through the different options, some of the different pieces, some of the different set options, right? And then from here, we're going to review. We're going to do a few things, and then we're going to walk through all the options and figure out which one is the best is the best fit for your customers, right? So I'm going to go through some of the slides that Owen walked through a little bit in his talk, but I'm going to like I said, I'm just going to hit on a few other things. Now, Mr. Jones. Let me review why so many people choose to invest in Cutco. You'll always have sharp, American-made knives that are comfortable, safe, and sanitary. Cutco is guaranteed to last forever, so it'll be the last set of knives you ever buy. And Cutco saves a lot of money. Most customers who buy Cutco eat out less. And if that just saves you $60 a month, you'll save $720 this year. In over 25 years, you'll save $18,000. Because some of you are like, wow, that's a lot of money. And I understand that is a lot of money. I want to give you guys an idea of where we got that number, right? So $60 a month. Our mindset is if somebody is excited about having the best knives in the world and they're investing in their kitchen, that it's safe to assume that they might go out to eat one less time a month, right? Like one less meal a month. And just to paint a picture, if you go to Applebee's with a family of four, and everybody gets the discount meal, which is now the 2 for 22, the 2 for 24, or the 2 for 28, right? And you just get ice water, and and then you tip your server fairly. That's $60, right? And that's if nobody gets any soda, especially if somebody gets a beer or a glass of wine, right? And that's one meal once a month, right? And that's actually a pretty low number for like a family of four to go out to dinner, right? But with that, you'll save over 18. You'll save $18,000, and there are several reasons why so many customers choose sets. Cutco sets have the right tool for the right job. Cutco sets have a built-in discount, so it's cheaper. Sets are much safer because they come in a block or a tray, and sets come with a free cutting board and other free stuff. And we have interest-free monthly investment options, so you don't have to pay for it all at once. It just charges a credit or debit card, 1/5 of the cost for 5 months. It makes it way more manageable, and it's what everyone does. Right? So just affirming them that, hey, it's what everyone does. The 5Pay is way more comfortable. Guys, this isn't a credit card or anything like that, like Afterpay or any of those websites that you sign up for a third-party credit card at a checkout. This isn't one of those, right? This is literally just to make it more manageable. Now, this slide really does two things, right? It explains why they should be excited about Cutco, but from there, why they should be excited about sets. Guys, a set of knives is actually very similar to a set of golf clubs, right? If you go out and you buy a set of golf clubs, you're not going to use every single golf club every single time you go golfing, right? But you're going to have the ones that you need when you need them, right? A lot of times the sets are discounted and they come in a bag, right? So it's actually it's a very similar analogy to a set of knives. Now, from here, we move on to our price comparison. Now, Mr. Jones, I'm sure you'd agree that you couldn't compare Cutco to a cheap set of knives sold at a local bargain store for a few $100s. Also, you wouldn't compare it to a luxury set with sterling silver set handles costing over $7,000. When it comes to high quality cutlery, it's like anything else. There's a wide variety of quality and prices. Cutco is top rated, so we only compare to the highest quality brands. I have a price comparison for some of our top competitors, Wusthof and Shun. These high quality sets made overseas are two of the top selling brands in store. Each brand has different types of sets which range in price. These are their sets which are comparable to Cutco's basic set. If I didn't know about Cutco and I wanted to get a good set of knives, I would probably get Wusthof Icon Blackwood. As you can see, the price for this Wusthof set is $3,435. Usually you can find it on sale for $2,199.95. And even for that type of money, it's well worth it. Guys, I'd like to talk up the competition, right? I think that the biggest mistake that people make in sales is bashing their competitors, right? Think about how sketchy a salesperson sounds when they're just like bashing people that are in the similar field to them, right? It makes you sound like a used car salesman. You're like, hey, the cars on my lot, they're the best cars that exist, right? Those cars down the road at that used car lot, they're the worst, right? It just makes it sound like you're lying, right? And my mindset was, if I was bashing other high quality knives, that would just take away the value in investing in high quality knives, right? So my goal was for them to almost be like, wow, these sets are worth it. So that way, when I do a fair comparison for Cutco, it makes Cutco sound so much better. When they come to the conclusion on their own that Cutco's better, it's just a lot more powerful than us having to like convince them, right? So if I like to hype up the competition a little bit, and that way when I do a fair comparison right after that, it builds up it only builds the value in Cutco. Now, there are some major differences between these brands and Cutco. They use typical handles while we have our comfortable wedge lock. They have serrated edges while we use our unique double D edge. They use 420A steel in comparison to our 440A, high carbon surgical grade stainless steel, which stays sharp longer and is dishwasher safe. They're made overseas while we are American made. And their products have a limited warranty against manufacturer defect. And every product we make is guaranteed forever. Now, based on the guarantee alone, I'm sure you'd agree Cutco is at least twice as good. When a product offers twice the quality and value and lasts forever, it should cost twice as much. And at twice the price, you're talking over $4,000 for a basic set of Cutco. Now, the best thing about these sets is that they're not $4,000. In fact, they don't even cost as much as Wusthoff's suggested price of $3,435. Now, guys, we just built we built value up to the highest point, and now we're going to walk through pricing. Right now, the complete set is great for people who love to cook or entertain, and is 2 times the size of the Wusthof set. It's only $29.29 paid in full, but everyone puts it on the 5-pay, which is just $628 per month, and that includes tax. The signature set, which is our family set, is our most popular option, is great for people who like to cook. Even though it's about 1.5 times the size of the Wusthof set, it's only $21.33 in full, which is just $458 on the 5-pay. The basic set is great for people who have to cook. It's a couple pieces larger than the Wusthof set, but it's almost half their sale price. It's only $14.19 paid in full, which is just $306 on the 5-pay. And so I'm going to go through that stuff in a second. Now, guys, a few things that you'll notice. We go from largest to smallest. What that helps to do is it helps to put the numbers into perspective, right? When we start off with the biggest number of the complete set and go down to the basic set, it makes that basic set number feel super small, right? But if we were going to go the opposite direction, the opposite would have happened, right? If we started with the smaller numbers, it would have made that complete set number feel absolutely overwhelming, right? So that's why we go from largest to smallest. You'll also notice that there are dashes in all of the prices, right? That's just because I don't want anybody to be on their demo and say, "Oh, Mrs. Jones, that signature set is $4 to $58 on the 5-pay." Right? It's $458. The reason that we have that is because you never want to say 100 or 1,000 when you're talking about Cutco prices, right? That's because I'm sure that everybody's seen that TV commercial where they're like, "Oh, this TV normally it's $360 and 99 cents, but today it's just $299.99." Right. And the reason that they do that is because the shorter a number sounds, the smaller a number feels. Right. So you'll notice that there are no dashes in our competitive prices on the page before this. When I was reading it a second ago, I said $2,199.95, right? I wanted it to feel a little longer. I wanted to make sure that they felt every second that I was talking during that section, right? Because that's all sales psychology, right? Now, so if you were considering a set of Cutco, which of these sets do you think you would get the most value out of? And whichever one they say, awesome, that's a great set. Now, Mrs. Jones, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you. Would you like to try out, let's say they said the signature set today, and get your free gifts? Now, notice that there's stars around this area. That's because I want everybody to remember that you're all stars to me. But it's also just to make sure that you draw your attention to it so that you make sure you ask for the order, right? Now it says, be completely quiet, wait for answer, and smile. Now, I know that everybody that you've been taking amazing notes up until this point, but I want you to write this down specifically. After I ask for the order, we were nice in the script. I'm going to be a little bit less nice for a second. After I ask for the order, shut up, right? Write it in all caps. Draw arrows to it, exclamation point. Make sure that you know. Stop talking after you ask for the order. Right? Don't say anything. So the thing that I always used to play a game on my presentations where the person who talks, the first person to talk after I ask for the order loses. Now, guys, nobody loses anything. Nobody lost anything. The only thing that it was just a game that I played in my head. I just didn't want to, like, I knew that when I was a brand new rep, my first instinct was try to fill up the 12 seconds that they're doing something called thinking, right? Crazy concept. They're thinking about if it's what's going to fit in their budget, what the set's going to look like in their kitchen, right? Those things take a few seconds to think about, right? So they're thinking about it. And when I was a brand new rep, I would try to fill up that 12 seconds of silence with something, right? And I would say the dumbest things. I would say, or Mrs. Jones, we have smaller sets, or we have pieces, or we also have gadgets, or you can get nothing. I'm sorry, I'll get out of your house, right? And I would just like say the dumbest things, and I would shoot myself in the foot. Guys, there's nothing that you can say in that section that's going to add value. If there was, it would have been in the presentation before this point, right? So a great mindset to develop is if you aren't adding value, you're taking away value, right? So that is like that, like, so you want to make sure that that you just don't overwhelm them, don't confuse them, fight through that 10 seconds of silence, right? Let them think, let them give you their answer. Now, another reason that we have all three sets on this page, right? It helps, but like there are so I read something the other day. I was listening to a Tony Robbins audio. He says on average it takes 4 asks to get a yes, and most salespeople only ask twice, right? And that's on average, right? So a lot of people will say yes after the first, the second, the third time, whatever the case might be. But so in this case, a lot of people see the complete set, they see the signature set, they're like, I love that set. But this slide also helps to get a few no's out of the way, right? It helps to get a few of those asks. It gets you to ask 3 times with 1 question, right? So on average, the person will take 4 asks to get a yes, right? So that all little things that help put this into perspective, right? Now, if your customer says yes, great, you're gonna love it. Before I enter the order, let's take a look at our accessories, and then we're gonna move on, right? We're gonna walk through flatware. If they said no, hey, just so I know, do you like Cutco? That's a slam dunk of a question. You've just spent 45 minutes building up all the value in Cutco, saying how awesome it is, right? So if you had, they are going to say yes, right? So if you had it, would you use it? As if someone is a homeowner that cooks, they're going to use it. Anybody that owns a home, if Cutco were free, they would get everything, right? So hey, is it too many pieces or just a little bit out of your budget right now? Because those are really the 2 main reasons that someone would say no, but they also have 2 different solutions to them, right? Now, the reason that we ask those questions is because we want to make it by asking those questions, by getting them excited about Cutco, it helps to give you permission to ask questions to get to the root of the situation, right? So if someone said, hey, it's too much money, I totally understand. Cutco isn't cheap. I'll give my manager a call and see what type of deal we can get you. And then you're going to pick up the phone, you're going to call PDI, and your manager is going to answer, and they're going to help you on your presentation, right? That's the best thing about being a manager. It's one of my favorite parts as a manager is helping reps close on their presentations. Everybody who will remember when I introduced myself that I moved to Alaska. I lived in Alaska for a few months, and I worked in jewelry sales. What I learned is that jewelry sales is very similar to car sales, where there's a lot of negotiation, right? There's a lot of talking to managers. There's a lot like it's not just you walk into the store, you pay for your diamond, and you go home, right? So I was like, there's a little bit of a learning curve. So when I first got there, I knew absolutely nothing about jewelry, right? I knew how to sell, I knew how to hype things up, I knew how to romanticize things, I knew those skills that I learned at Cutco. But I didn't know anything about jewelry, right? So my job, I was an opener in the store, right? My job was I showed people around the store. I told them how beautiful the jewelry looked on them, and I gave them a first price, right? And then I would, if they said yes, I would say awesome. I would go get the paperwork, I would write it all up, I would tell them have a great vacation, right? But if they said no, then I would if they said no, then I would go to my manager. I would say, hey, Martin, it's go time, right? I would call him over. He would come up to me and he would say, Sean, let's go, and he would come, he would talk to my customer. He would tell them all of the technical parts of the jewelry, like tell them why all the value is there, right? Tell them how beautiful it looked, and he would give them a better deal, right? Say like, I can't let you leave without giving you my best price, right? It looks too beautiful on you, right? And so I knew from my time at Cutco that having a manager give a deal is so powerful. So me and Martin got really close. Even once I learned exactly what he was going to do after a few weeks of watching him do it, I knew that I would call him, and we had a little bit of a rapport going, right? Where he knew exactly, like I would say, hey, it's go time. He would come over, we would work our magic together, right? I just knew that calling the manager and help and getting help is always so valuable for a customer, because I saw people like V Simpson Turner, who's over $1 million in sales in Cutco. He would call Owen for PDI on his presentations, even though he knew exactly what deals he could give his customer. He just knew that he wanted to talk to his manager, and that it was very powerful coming from a manager, right? So always call us, let us help. I want you guys to understand that I have done hundreds of presentations. Owen has done hundreds of presentations. Yada has done hundreds of presentations. Lily has done hundreds of presentations. Whoever's answering your phone call is going to it has been in the situation that you've been in. They're there to help. There's nothing that you can call us that will be like, oh my God, really? That's never happened to me before, right? So just give us a call, let us help. We'll work through it together. Now, if someone said I need to think about it, or I want to talk to my significant other, I completely understand. That's why most customers use the 15-day trial, to make sure they can really see the value. If you don't love it, send it back and get a full refund. On the 5-month plan, you can try it out for just $458 today. How does that sound? Right. And if you want to emphasize, the 15-day trial, guys, is an amazing value. It's an amazing opportunity for someone to try out Cutco at a time, like for a couple of weeks, and at the end of those few weeks, decide if they want to keep it. Right. It's not an all or nothing type of deal. If they get the complete set and they want to keep, they want to send like 2 of the pieces back, they can do that. Right. And that's like the real value of that 15-day trial. Now, if like so, a lot of times we like to refer to the trial as an in-home demo, right? They get to have 3 weeks to use it, abuse it, throw it through the dishwasher, and decide if it's the best value, for them, right? We call the 15-day trial the spousal agreement guarantee. And if that works, awesome. And if it doesn't work, then I would always set up another time that I would sit down with both of the people in the household, so that way I can go through some things. And I would make sure that they had trycutco.com. Trycutco.com is awesome. It's the video from the slide built into this website, right? They literally just go, they click play, and the video pops up. The cool thing about about that is it's actually a longer version of the video. This goes through all the set options. It breaks down prices, obviously without tax, so it's going to be a little bit different. But it breaks down all the pricing of everything, and it shows them all the different options. So that way they can, like, when you follow up with them, they can kind of understand exactly what they're looking for, and they can know what is going to be the best fit for them, right? Now, if someone said, can I just get pieces? I would say, of course. However, our sets are discounted, they're safer, and you get more free stuff. If you don't mind, I'll show you some of our sets, and if none of them appeal to you, we can just pick out whatever pieces you want. And then we will click the drop down and we would show them the smaller sets. And if they said those sets are too big, obviously we're not going to say you need a bigger set, right? You're going to say, okay, hey, no problem. Let's walk through some of our smaller options, right? You're going to show that you're going to drop down. Now, up until this point, we only have left and right. Now, we have right where we can go to the flatware, but we also have down. We have the down arrow, so we can show them some of our smaller sets. This is really valuable because you're going to be able to not, whenever they say yes, you can go over and you could show them flatware. You don't have to walk through all the different set options, all the pieces. What if they love a complete set, they're not going to want to see all of the individual pieces, right? They're going to want to move on to flatware. So that's why you can just move on whenever you find the yes. You don't need to go through every single option once they figure out which set they love. Now, let's say we call the office, we're going to drop down, right? The next is our galley set. It's a perfect starter set, and it'll take care of all of your daily needs. It comes with a paring knife for the air, trimmer for small stuff, spatula for sandwiches, a meat knife, a serving piece, a veggie chopper, and the slicer. It's a few less knives for a lot less money. Instead of paying $14.19 for the basic set, the galley set with 6 table knives is only $10.24 in full, which is just $2.21 on the 5-pay. We also have a basic galley set that comes with everything except the table knives and is only $7.39 in full, which is just $171 on the 5-pay. Do you prefer the set without or with the table knives? Guys, they're usually going to say with. The table knives are dope, but and remember, you're all stars. If you get this set today, I can still include the super shears or the cheese knife. Is that something you'd like to get today? If they say yes, great, you're going to love it. Before I enter the order, let's take a look at the rest of our product line. If they say no, we're going to call the office for a deal or we're going to drop down. Guys, you're going to tell when someone likes the set. right? You're gonna be like, if someone like, I don't want like you guys to be feeling like you have to call the office every single time you ask for somebody and ask somebody for the order and they say no, right? If someone's interested in the set but it's a little bit out of their budget, that's when you call us, right? If you can tell that someone likes the set, but if we just like sweeten the deal a little bit, that's when you call us, right? You don't want to call for every single every single option if they're not interested, right? But let's say we're going to drop down. Hey, no problem. We have other starter sets, which could be a great fit for you. Now, guys, the galley set honestly is amazing. The only pieces that you take out of the basic set to get to the galley set are the butcher knife and the carving set, right? It's 3 pieces. Those 3 pieces come out of the set, and you have the galley set. And obviously it's 6 table knives instead of 6 table knives instead of 8, which is but like so it's a great jumping off point. I say that because this is the set that my parents got when I was a freshman in high school. This was the set that they got. And so it's just like it has a warm place in my heart, right? My parents thought that the basic set was a little bit too much, but the galley set was like that perfect middle ground. It got them a good start jumping off point, and it was really affordable. So the galley set's a really great option. But let's say we're going to drop down, right? Now I'm going to show you our starter sets. They're great for building up overtime and gifts for family and friends. We have our essential set and studio sets, which are basic sets in the smaller block, but they get the job done. We have our space saver set, which is great for smaller kitchens, boats, campers, and RVs, sets that can hang on the wall, sit on the counter, or slide in the drawer. And then our all knife and kitchenette sets coming in safe storage trays are great alternatives to sets in blocks. And lastly, our gourmet set includes our specialty knives and is great for Cutco owners or cooking alternative cuisine. So guys, our space saver set's cool. It has like a little kickstand so you can put it in the drawer, you can hang it on the wall. We have our tray sets, and then our gourmet set, which is more specialty knives. So someone who might have a starter set or a basic set that doesn't have a lot of the specialty pieces, this could be a great set for them as well. And now we put all the sets on their own slide, so that way, like these are literally the same sets that we just walked through, just with the prices on a pretty slide, right? Now, out of these starter sets, which combination do you like the best? Now, these sets include New Jersey sales tax, so the 5-pay prices include New Jersey sales tax across the whole demo, by the way, guys. So if there's somebody that's outside of New Jersey, the 5-pay price might change a little bit. The paid in full price will always stay the same. The 5-pay price is always a little bit higher than the paid in full price, because it includes the tax and it includes the admin fee, right? So I want you guys to make sure that you write that down, because I don't want anybody to say that. I don't want you to be like, oh, Sean, the 5-pay was a little bit more. They were nervous about it, so I didn't know what to say to that, right? The only reason is because the 5-pay includes the tax, right? Now, from here we have the prices of every single starter set. This overwhelms me, right? So don't read every single price. Read the price of the set that they like, right? Let's say they said the basic essentials. Hey, that's only $129 per month for the 5 months. And if you get this set today, you can still have the shears or a cheese knife for free. Is that something you'd be interested in getting today? If they say yes, great, you're gonna love it. Before I enter the order, let's look at the rest of our product line. And if they say no, we're gonna call the office for a deal if they're interested, or we're gonna drop down. Let's say we're gonna drop down. Hey, no problem. Lots of Cutco owners customize their own set. Let me show you how they work. Now, Mrs. Jones, you can customize your own set and I can still get you something for free. Let's make a list of your 5 favorite pieces. Which knives could you see yourself using the most? Right. And we want them to help them pick out their 5 favorite pieces, because that's going to allow them to have a little bit of a variety of uses in their kitchen, right? It's not just like they're going to use their trimmer for every single night, every single use, and it's going to have to be sharpened over and over and over again, right? Whereas if they have a set of knives that they can use every single day for a lot of different uses, they're going to love Cutco, and they're really going to be excited about having a set. We're going to get them a good deal, right? Now, and the easiest way to get them a good deal is by using the price calculator spreadsheet. You guys will already have njlegacyrep.com/pricing open on your presentation, but just like I said, I'm going to walk through the calculator for you, which is the first button on here. I'm so jealous that you guys have this, by the way. When I started my when I was doing demos, we had to give out deals. We would write them on the back of an order form, right? Like, let's just give you an idea. Like, I would write it back on like the back of an order form. I would write down what they were getting, how much they were saving, what the final price was, right? And I would give them the deal, and I would slide the order form across the table, and I'd be like, hey, Mrs. Jones, what do you think? Right? And she would be like, what if we swapped out the trimmer for the petite carver? and I would cry because I had to redo all the math that I just did. Luckily, you just have to click one button and click another button. So the first thing that you want to remember is you want to make sure you put the tax for whatever the place is, right? In most cases, it's going to be New Jersey, so 6.7. But you can pick any knife set, you can pick any cookware set, any flatware set, and you can check off any of the knives, accessories, gift sets, garden tools, right? And it'll automatically add it all up and give you the total, which is awesome. It's super easy, and it's gonna make life super easy for you guys. So I'm gonna make a quick custom set for you guys to just give you a quick example, right? Let's just say they said the cheese knife, the spatula spreader, the butcher knife, the 5-inch petite santoku, and a 4-inch paring knife, just for, just to give you a variety of knives, right? Now, on the look, it added up the total, and up here it added the tax, and it's automatically split it up on the 5-pay for us, right? The cool thing, it actually included the $12 fee, right? So there's there's an admin fee for the payment processing. That's not interest. It doesn't change based on how much they spend. It's just to pay the payment processing, right? So it's $12 once. It's not $12 a month, right? So it gets automatically added into the total and split across the 5 months. So it's like $250 a month, right? But with that $12 fee and the tax, it would be $117. Notice how I round up, even though it's only 9 cents, always round up to the nearest dollar. Now I want to show you guys how I would have my screen set up during my presentations, right? Just to give you guys an idea. So that way, you guys can see exactly how to set it up during your presentations, right? So what I would do is I would have my notes on the left-hand side, and I would have my price calculator on the right-hand side. So that way I can read my script, and I can also just easily check things off and make so that I'm going through it, right? Now, our special number 1 is if you pick any 5 knives, excluding the table knives, you get a pair of super shears or 4 table knives for free. Obviously, somebody can't buy 5 table knives to get 4 table knives for free. That wouldn't make sense, right? So that's why we have any 5 knives, they get their 4 table knives or a super shears for free. And in this case, it would only be $117. How does that sound? If they say yes, great. If they say no, we're going to offer special number 2. Special number 2 is if you pick any 4 pieces, you get the 5th piece and a tray for free. So they're not going to get anything free on top of it, but they're still going to get their 5 favorite pieces. We're going to uncheck the least expensive piece, which in this case is the 4-inch paring knife, right? And they're going to get that one for free. And it brought that 5-pay down to 101, right? But it saved them like $10 a month. Now, does that sound like a better option? If they say yes, awesome. If they say no, which item could you live without? And we're gonna make sure we recheck that 4-inch paring knife, right? Because we don't know if that's gonna be the one that they want, or if they, whatever the case might be. But our buy 3 pieces, you get the 4th piece for free. So let's say they're like, I don't really need the butcher knife. I'm not gonna use it as often. And so again, we're gonna uncheck the paring knife because that one is what they're getting for free, right? They're gonna buy these 3, they're gonna get the paring knife for free. So perfect. We went below $400. Anything below $400, it has to be put on a 2-pay or a 3-pay. And you'll notice that the calculator knows that. It switched it to a 3-pay. It switched the $12 fee to a $6 fee because it's 3 months instead of 5 months, right? Again, it's $6 not at once, not monthly, but it's like so it automatically adds that up, and it would be $115 today. How does that sound? Is that something you'd like to try today? If they say yes, great. If they say no, which 2 are your favorites? Let's say they said the cheese knife and the spatula spreader. I like those 2. Those are some of my favorites, right? It automatically dropped down. We went below $200, so it went to a 2-pay. Well, if you get any 2 knives totaling over $100, you get a peeler or an ice cream scoop for free. And how does that sound, right? So they can get a free veggie peeler, which is cool because it peels in both directions, right? It helps them, so the blade comes out so you can clean it, and it's forever guaranteed. The ice cream scoop has a zinc alloy, which helps to melt ice on contact, which is awesome. It's really great to, like, if you put an ice cube next to it and an ice cube in it, the ice cube in it is going to melt way quicker. It's really cool and very helpful for scooping ice cream. Again, also forever guaranteed. Now, guys, these deals are amazing for a few reasons. The first is that's going to help you learn how to give deals. That's always helpful, right? These deals we always called them our back pocket specials, always deals that we knew that we could give to whoever needed them, right? And it's also going to help your customers get an awesome deal, which is great. I want your customers to be excited about Cutco, right? I want them to feel good about what they're getting. I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of offices around the company have worse deals than we do. The reason for that is because they don't want to give free stuff. It takes away from the CPO of the sale. But our mindset is like, I'm gonna be honest again, our average order is higher than most. That's because when people are getting a good deal, they're going to be excited about spending more, right? So that's like our mindset is if they're excited about the deal that they're getting, they're going to be excited and they're going to want to recommend their friends to you, and they're going to want to make sure that that's the feeling that we want them to have. That's why we give them such good deals. Another thing that these deals help you get better at is upselling. This is more of an advanced skill, so you don't have to worry about this like right off the bat. This is just something that you're going to learn as you get better at the job. But I got a yes when I was at like the best time of my rep career, when I was like the best, I had my highest skill level, right? I knew that my yes, the first yes was just a start, right? I would always show them different options and things like that to make sure that they were getting the best, that make sure that they were getting a good deal. But also just like, because like, but like I initially thought upselling was a little scary. I'll be totally honest. And I started thinking about it, and anybody that sells you anything upsells you, right? If you go to McDonald's and you get a McChicken, they're gonna ask you, hey, do you want fries and a drink with that? And they're not pressuring anybody to get fries and a drink with their McChicken. They're just saying, hey, if you get this McChicken, you're going to get a good deal, a little bit better of a deal. You're going to save some, you're going to be a little bit more full, and you won't be thirsty while you're eating your food, right? Honestly, if you go to buy video games or electronics, they have insurance plans or antivirus software. The best game, the upseller in the game is Amazon. I feel like every time I go to buy something, I want to spend like $20 or $30. They're like, oh, do you want to buy this, and this that costs over $200? And I'm like, what are you doing, Jeff? Like, how are you coming at me like this, right? But it must work. Right, he went from having like his net worth chopped in half after the divorce a year and a half ago, and then the pandemic hit, and people have been, and now he has spaceship money, right? Upselling works, right? But like I said, I always got better at upselling people because these deals became second nature. Now, but if all else fails, guys, I want you to get people excited about their favorite piece, right? Get people excited about pieces. So, hey, what I recommend is that you get your favorite tool today. That way you can reserve your buy now bonus. So when you purchase a larger order in the future, you'll still be entitled to the free stuff. You'll end up saving a ton of money, and at least you'll get your favorite piece until then. I recommend the cheese knife, which is only $93, or the trimmer, which is just $76. You can even break it up over 2 months. So what do you think, guys? Anything over $70, you can break it up over on a 2-pay. So like your customers don't even have to pay for it all at once, right? So, but so a few things. Like the deals that we give in the presentation, they're a thank you to your customer for taking the time out of their day to look about Cutco, to learn about Cutco, right? So anybody can go to cutco.com, buy Cutco, and not get a single deal, not get anything for free, and pay full retail price, and they're still getting a product that's amazing. But as a thank you for taking their time out of their day, that's why we have the buy now bonuses. So these deals are eligible during the presentation, like unless your manager says otherwise. These deals are only eligible during the presentation. So that's why, like, if someone gets their favorite piece, they lock in that buy now bonus. So in the future, if they want to get the basic set, they want to upgrade in the future, they can still get those shears for free, right? Because they're a preferred Cutco customer, right? But also when someone gets one piece, they're going to use that piece, they're going to love it, and they're going to remember why they loved Cutco. But if they don't get anything, they're going to forget why they loved it, and a lot of times they're not going to follow up. So a great mindset to have is an order entered for a paring knife is more valuable than a promise order for a complete set in 2 weeks. I'll be honest with you guys, I still have people who I'm waiting on to follow up on those complete sets for 2 weeks. And I still haven't done a presentation since 2018, right? All right, so that was the knife section of the presentation. What I'm gonna go through now is I'm gonna walk through the flatware, right? I'm going to walk through flatware. I'm going to walk through cookware. Now, guys, I want to emphasize that as I'm going through everything, I hope that that you're writing down questions, so that way when you're back with us live, that you can ask us any questions that you have and we can answer them for you. But let's walk through flatware. A lot of people don't even know that we make flatware and cookware, but they're two of our absolute best products. Cutco flatware is made here in the US, and just like everything else we make, it's the best quality you can find. Would you like to hear more about our flatware? And if they say yes, then we're going to keep reading. And if they say no, hey, no problem. And we move on to cookware, right? But when it comes to flatware, this is what most people tell us. It usually goes down the garbage disposal, and they have to throw it away and buy more. They never use the good stuff because of all the work they'd have to put into keeping it looking good. So the reasons why people love our Forever flatware so much is it's lightweight, but also heavy duty. It's guaranteed forever. So just like everything else we make. So if the garbage disposal attacks again, you can send it in for replacement. And there's no maintenance because it's 18/10 stainless steel, which is the best you can get for flatware. So it won't tarnish, bend, break, or rust, and it's dishwasher safe. The chest, it comes in as a cherry finish and looks gorgeous for special occasions. Now we're going to click the drop down arrow and walk through the options, right? Now, most high-end flatware is around $150 per place setting. Cutco flatware is higher quality, lower priced, and forever guaranteed. Our flatware chest, which has 12 place settings, includes a built-in 35% discount. Normally would cost $2,316, but you can get it today for the special price of only $1,575, which is $339 on the 5-pack. We can also throw in one of our 3-piece accessory sets for free if you were to get the chest today. Does that sound like something you want to try today? Now, guys, I want to emphasize this $2,316. This is our prices if we broke it up, right? And but did everything individually. And they wouldn't get any of and that's not including any of like the accessory sets or the chest, right? And that but if they get it all in a package, they get it they get it for 1575, which is like honestly the best deal that Cutco has out of the box, right? It's a really, really good deal. If they say yes, great, you're gonna love it. Do you like the 3-piece hostess set or the 3-piece serving set more? And before I add to the order, let's check out our accessories and see if there's anything else that may interest you. And if they say no, if you don't mind me asking, what is it about our Forever flatware that you're unsure of? And these guys are very similar to the knives. The only difference is down here, what they said it's too many pieces. We have a very specific, we have a specific flatware drop down to talk about the buy 3 get 1 free on a few pieceless play settings. So it's not like all or nothing type of deal, but these objections are very similar to the knives. And if you need any help at any point, remember, you can always call the office. Now, we from here, we're going to walk through some cookware. We have amazing cookware, and I have a quick 2-minute video that does an awesome job explaining it. I can't start the video for you, so just do me a favor and let me know when you start it so that we can go through at pretty much the same time. I'm going to play the video for you guys real quick. Honestly, guys, like that's such a good like video. It does such a good job showing cookware. I'm gonna be upfront with you. I did not show cookware for like 6 months as a rep because I had no idea how to show it. In fact, do you guys have this quick video that just shows the cookware in a really quick, concise, powerful way? Really does a really good. It does a really good job building the value. Now, there obviously the cookware is a lot more technical than the knives. So if people have specific questions that you guys don't know the answer to, call PDI. They're like we know all the answers. We've worked with the cookware. We know exactly how to sell it, things like that. Always just make sure you call PDI, and we'll always be there to help you answer any questions about the cookware. So we have 3 different set options available, or I can price the pieces out individually. Would you like to see them? If they say yes, awesome. If they say no, no problem. Let's walk through the accessories and see if there's anything else that may interest you. Now, all of our sets come with a built-in discount. We have the Accomplished Chef set with everything you'd ever need in your kitchen, the Dedicated Chef set with all the basics you need, and the Aspiring Chef set, which is a great starter set. All of these options come with a buy now bonus where you can get some free gadgets or accessories of your choosing if you were to pick up one of these sets today. The Accomplished Chef set comes with $150 of free Cutco. The Dedicated Chef comes with $100, and the Aspiring Chef set comes with $50. So out of these 3 options, which one do you like the best? And then we're going to quote them on the set that they like the best. Now, the cool thing about the cookware is that they get to pick and choose exactly what they want for free. It's not like they get to decide what makes them happy. Now, the Accomplished Chef set, whatever, you're going to just, let's say they said the Dedicated Chef. That's just $421 per month for 5 months. I would be doing my job if I didn't ask you, would you like to try the Aspiring or the Dedicated Chef set today? If they say yes, great, you're going to love it. Before I enter the other, let's walk through our accessories and see if there's anything else that may interest you. If they say no, no problem. If you don't mind me asking, what's the main factor holding you back from our cookware? And guys, these are the exact same objections as I read before with the knives. So that is almost all of the presentation. The only thing that you guys have left is just a few more slides and then referrals, which Lily is going to teach you, guys soon. So if you, like I said, I hope you guys got some great notes out of that, wrote down any questions, and just make sure that you ask your manager or whoever's talking when we come back and into the live session.